Hello YouTube, I'm slyelessar, street photographer, musician, whatever. I'd like to speak to you today about the Ricoh GR2. That's the latest version, a proper digital street camera, versus the film 35mm GR1V. So why are you comparing a digital camera to a film camera, you're asking? So obviously the quality and what they can actually produce is different. However, this is pretty much the essence of this camera. They both enable you to go out and shoot very quickly. They're very compact, they're very small. They both do the same thing, except for one's film and one's digital. So let me start with the GR1V. So let me turn it on. Oh, it would choose this moment to run out of battery, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's start with the GR1V. So as you can see, it's got a small lens protruding from the camera itself. You've got P mode, as you have on both of them, apertures from 2.8 up to 22, and an ISO where you can actually, the reason why I've chosen the V and not the R or the GR1 is because you can actually change the ISO settings. So if I want to shoot at 1600 and I want to take Tri-X, which is 400 ASA, I can do that. On the back of this camera, you can actually choose whether you want the flash to come up whenever it feels it needs to, so automatically. You can demand the flash, or you can just turn it off entirely, which I do most of the time. Flash is okay, nothing special, it's just an on-camera flash. So the grip is actually really nice, really great to hold. They actually weigh, the digital weighs a bit more, so the version 2 weighs more. Obviously, the lens protrusion's a bit bigger. Sorry. There we go. But overall, they're around the same size. The GR version 2 is a bit thicker. So you do actually have parallax markings inside the GR1V, which are quite handy. Both cameras, I predominantly shoot from the hip. There's no viewfinder in the GR version 2. So I have raised the 1V up to my eye to take shots. What it does do quite loudly, and they both click, they both will click, but they're fairly quiet clicks. This one is extremely silent click, but the automatic wind on of the film is loud. So let me take a shot here. Burger Pancro 400, thank you very much. And here we go. So there's the wind. So as you can tell with the wind, it's quite loud. However, in a busy street, if I'm going out there getting close shots, say anywhere in London, Trafalgar Square, Leicester Square, anywhere like that, where I'm just walking past events, this is fantastic for documenting events. And I documented the Not One More Day March, and that's on my website. Check out slyelessar.com. It's fantastic for that sort of thing. You can get in areas, you've got that 28mm lens, it's nice and sharp, it's a fantastic little camera. It's also got exposure compensation up to +2 or down to -1. The shutter button feels nice and smooth. It's got a mode button on the top and a timer on the top as well, and your little screen obviously. Now I'm going to put photos of both these cameras back at the end, but just to show you what you're dealing with, here is a shot on the Ricoh GR1V. Okay, so it comes out quite, this is a guy bent over, crossing the road. I thought it was quite a cool shot from where it was. I think this is shooting from the hip or from my chest, probably from the hip to be perfectly honest. And it shows what this camera can do. Now this is on a extremely bright day, so this exposure is slightly overexposed. Unfortunately, some of the exposures I will be showing at the end of this will be slightly overexposed. I hope to get more up soon, so maybe I'll do a follow-up version to this. But as a street camera, that's what this camera is built for. It's fantastic. It's got snap focus as well, and the snap focus is what I use when I'm going around. It's fantastic. It's great. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Okay, so that brings us along to the GR version 2. Okay, slam into the microphone. As you can hear, this is the click. Oh, out of memory. Oh dear. I better stick a memory card in that, otherwise you're not going to get the click. So the memory card goes in the same place where the battery does, in the GR2. On the top it's pretty simple. You've got program mode, AV, TV, TAV, manual. Manual's pretty much useless on this camera, I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I'm a manual focusing user. I like to use manual, and the manual on this camera, that's not why you get this camera. Also does snap focus, which is programmable. Yeah, and it's got full auto mode as well if you wanted that. On the back, you've got autofocus lock, menu buttons. The menus are extremely simple to use. It doesn't get more simple than that on any camera I've used. So, yeah. The lens is 28mm and goes down to, or up to f2.8 to f16, I think. Something along those lines. You've got your LCD on the back. There is no viewfinder for this camera, EVF or sort of standardized viewfinder. That might bother some people. You can buy a little attachment that can go onto the top here, and then you can go around them. But there's not much point. I get so used to framing and knowing where I am with this camera, I don't need a viewfinder or an EVF. Fantastic for shooting from the hip, just like the 35mm version. So here's a quick photograph from the GR version 2. Okay, so I can show you a million shots taken with this camera. I use it so often, it's just really handy. The reason why I have more photographs on this rather than the GR1V is the GR1V is sort of my backup film camera. So I will take my OM1 as my predominant shooter, and then the GR1V if we've got crowds, or if I'm seeing a protest or a march or something like that and I want to capture that, that's what I'll use that for. There's not much else to bang about. These cameras are small, they're compact, they're built for street photography. You're not, you can do landscapes, you can do other little things with them. They're slower compared to their competitors, but what they are fantastic at is the snap focus. That's why you buy these cameras. Snap focus, street photography, shooting from the hip. Just sort of going around nice, quiet, candid. They're for candid street photography. Okay, everybody, visit slyelessar.com. Got videos, I've got all my photos on there, I've got a blog on there. It's basically my HQ. I'm going to stick some images up the end. Please subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one.